Hey everybody, I'm Aphrodite Rose Starfire. This is Samuel T. Willikers, Esquire III. Welcome to my channel. Just want to do a quick little live stream since the topic is of relevance. S'il vous plaît. So Drew from Talk Body Outline yesterday read a very interesting editorial written by Jason from Archaix about, hi Peyton, how are you? Lovely to see you. Hi Adrian, what's up girl? So Jason, what's up Eternal Soul? Yo! Sweet, watching some sweet jumps. Hey Trish. So yeah, oh, I got some peeps. Hey peeps. So I wanted to talk about Jason from Archaix, the rapiste, the rapist, sex offender. Drew from Chalk Body Outline did a video yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, reading some stuff that Jason wrote while in prison. I guess Jason was very much an advocate for Prawn. Prawn is a euphemism for videotaping sexual encounters. I'm going to say prawn, okay? So Jason was in prison in Texas, and he liked to get Penthouse magazine in prison. Granted, he was sent to prison for 30 years because he raped a 19-year-old girl at gunpoint in a car and kidnapped her with a friend, one of his buddies. He kidnapped a woman that was 19 years old and he raped her with a gun. And he took a plea deal for 30 years in Texas. So what does it mean when you take a plea deal? That means they lower the charge. So that means whatever he did was worse than the charge. So his charge was rape with a gun and kidnapping. That is a lower charge than what he really did. So what he really did was worse than raping and kidnapping a 19-year-old girl. Now, when he did this, he apparently was 17 years old. Okay, so he lowers the charge from kidnapping and raping a 19-year-old girl with a gun. He lowers the charge to 30 years because it would have been more for whatever else he did to her. Okay, goes to prison and gets Penthouse magazine all the time. Apparently he writes articles for Penthouse magazine. And then for some reason, it was like maybe because they published his article or something, they stopped the Penthouse, they stopped all Prawn in prison. So this got Jason all up on his high horse and he started becoming a Prawn advocate for prison mates, and he wrote this, like, I don't know, editorial about homosexuality in prison and how Prawn is so important, and how the women guards in the Texas prisons will pay to videotape men-on-men Prawn encounters in prison, and like the highest rate goes for like a black man on a white dude or something like that. So basically what I'm saying is Jason from Archaix during prison was steadfast focused on Prawn and getting access to Prawn and making sure his prisoners have access to Prawn. Now, we have all of these other truther people like Sonia from the Tree of Knowledge, Rose Quartz, Bokarek Precision, who are all up at Jason from Archaix's butt. They're all up in his butt. They like to sniff it. They like the perfume. They like his voice. his voice like gives them like the ooh, like the shivers, like, oh yes, give me more. Like they say, oh, Jason, he's reformed. He said he's sorry for what he did. What he did was when he was 17. That was so long ago. But he's a different man. Really? Somebody who was a prawn advocate in prison? Really? Who was fighting to get more penthouse? Oh, and also in this editorial, he says that when his penthouse magazines were turned off in prison, he was able to go into the underground market in prison and had a whole array of cell phones to choose from. So then he just got a cell phone and downloaded hundreds or thousands of Prawn videos for him to watch personally in prison. So Bokarek is saying, you know, he doesn't even care about Jason's background, and because people that follow Jason from Archaix are very educated, and at least they're talking about important subjects and aren't gossiping. Really, Bokarek? You like investigated Drew from Chalk Body Outline. You tried to drag out some kind of like criminal record, and you're not even going to do that from Jason from Archaix? When he was in prison for raping and kidnapping a woman with a gun? Oh, he's so different. He's so different. But he was a prawn advocate in prison. And then he downloaded all of this prawn in prison. So it's like, that's his main focus, is forced sexual encounters. Now, I wonder, Jason from Archaix, he raped a woman when he was 17 years old. Now, 17 years old, that kind of like does the basis for what turns you on sexually for the rest of your life. Like your first sexual encounters. So if your first sexual encounter is a violent rape with a gun that gets you sent for 30 years, and then you continue to focus on prawn while in prison and being a prawn advocate, writing to Penthouse magazine and downloading prawn in cell phones and helping other prisoners download prawn. Do you think he was watching prawn of married couples? Do you think Jason was watching prawn of, I don't know, like yoga instructors? Do you think he was watching prawn of, you know, like a pizza man, delivery boy? I bet you the type of prawn he was downloading in prison was probably violent, probably rape, probably bondage, probably S&M, probably gangbangs, probably beating up the woman. I would be really interested in finding out what type of prawn he was advocating and downloading in prison. Because when he got caught with his cell phone with all of this downloaded prawn, he got an added 5 or 7 years tacked on to his sentence in prison. So that's why, you know, this reformed, super educated, well-spoken, ooh, sexy man, we should just forget what he did when he was a child because he served his time, done his time. He's not reformed. He hasn't changed. His dogs don't even like him. When he was showing off his dogs, they like shied away like he was gonna, like he kicks his dogs. I can like guarantee he kicks those dogs. But I want everybody who, you know, has defended Jason from Archaix, who defends Sonia, the Tree of Knowledge, who defends Rose Quartz, who are all up on this guy's butt. You know, what were you doing when you were 19 years old? Have you been raped? If you were raped by gunpoint or your daughter was raped by gunpoint all night long, where the man had to bargain down to 30 years of prison, would you be okay with that man spending his whole 30 years in prison watching Prawn and downloading Prawn and helping other prisoners watch Prawn? You think that's a person to get your information from? Do you think he's has a good heart? Do you think he has the children's best interest? Because I don't see him saying he's sorry. I don't see him talking about his, you know, the way I thought was so wrong back then, and I did such a bad thing, and I don't even know what I was thinking. My childhood was so bad, and now, I wasn't even thinking of a woman as a person. I was thinking of her as an object, and I just wanted to, I had all this anger I had to get out. He's not saying stuff like that. He's just saying, oh, I talked about it. I already talked about it. Well, when did you talk about it? People who are really actually remorseful or who have changed, they will tell you about how they've changed, why they changed, who they were then, who they are now, what the difference is, what the journey was. There's none of that. There is none of that. There is no remorse. He just wants you to forget about it and never bring it up. And that's what his followers are doing too. And I just think it's disgusting. I think it just shows those people want to have their blinders on. They have a daddy complex. These people want to have a daddy to tell them where to go, tell them what to do, tell them how to live, tell them everything is going to be okay. Give them a date. You guys have daddy issues that are following Jason from Archaix. And I want you to think about your daughter being raped, your wife being raped, you being raped, 19 years old, all night long with a gun to your head. Okay? Because he did something worse than that. He had to plea down. He did something worse. And he didn't feel bad about it, okay? He feels he deserves to watch Prawn in prison. You guys are come on, where, save the children, save the children, save the children. You think Jason's saving the children? Who are all these people that are trying to save the children up on Archaix's live chat? He is a violent rapist. I don't know if you guys have ever been raped before. I've been raped before by a naval officer, and I made a video about it. It's on my YouTube channel. Please check it out. It says I was raped by a naval officer in San Diego, drugged and raped by a naval officer. And unless a rapist is so remorseful, so repentant, has reasons why they did what they did, has reasons why they're a different person, unless they are coming from that angle, I have nothing that I need to learn from that person, that I need to listen. They don't have anything of value to say to me, unless they're telling me to get out of the way because the bus is going to hit you. I mean, some of these people are unbelievable about the blinders that they put on. Show me your life. Show me your life. Show me the person you are. And then I will determine if you have any value to the information that you want to give to me. Okay? If you're a rapist right out of prison that's been focusing on getting prawn to prisoners and getting your own prawn, which, by the way, the prawn that he was watching probably wasn't nice prawn. It probably wasn't happy couples. The prawn that he was watching in prison probably was violent, probably was rape. And he's getting off to that. He's getting off to that. He's feeding that beast, that thing, that 17-year-old boy, that his last encounter was a violent rape. He's reliving it over and over again with each new prawn he downloads, reliving it. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. That stuff doesn't go away. So I want you guys to all think about it. Please rewatch this video from the beginning. Look at the people you're listening to and look at their life. Do they have kids that they don't talk to? Do they leave children behind? Do Lucid Living TV, she has 2 autistic sons that she just abandons, and she expects you to pay her for motherly advice, for advice on being a mother, or from advice on Gaia mother. You can't even be a mother in your own life, and you want to give advice about being a mother. What Lauren Pritchard, she wants to foster a child. No, you can't even get your life together. You just people are just buying people to love them. It's disgusting. Okay, look at the people you're watching. Look at their life, okay? If their life, what they're doing in their life doesn't match the grandiose nature or the majesty of what they're saying, then they're a fraud. They're a fraud and they're a liar. So I'm going to leave it at that. Sorry I haven't read your comments, but I love you all. Jason from Archaix is a disgusting rapist, and he hasn't changed. All of his information is bogus.